than 10 people. Okay? Between 10 and 20 people. Fantastic. And over 20 people. Fabulous. Who has been in your business for under 10 years? Oh, a few people there. What about for between 10 and 20 years? Fantastic. And over 20 years. Right. There's a really big range of people in the room here in terms of the size of the businesses that you've got, the number of employees and things that you've got, the length of time, and so on. Next question is around the types of industries that you're in. So who is in manufacturing? Okay, have a look around. These are the people that are in the same sorts of areas that you are as well. Who are involved in trade industries, like plumbing or electricians or those sorts of people? Fantastic. Anybody involved in retail? Okay, a couple of you, 3 or 4 of you there. What about service industries? Professional services. Yep, so lots and lots and lots of people in that area. Is there anybody that feels that I've left you out? Can you tell me what your industry is, please? Everybody covered?
Yeah, software as a service.
IT. How did I forget IT, eh? That's dreadful. I'm very sorry. Thank you. Okay, I hope you're feeling a little bit more sort of alive and so on. You can take your seats now, that would be great. So, lots of people today have talked about people. And they are the lifeblood of your business. And I'll have a scrap with us here later as to whether they're number 1 or number 2 or number 1 equal in terms of importance in your list. Sorry, in your business. Many of you have been in your business for many years. You have put so much of your energy into it. You've heard the talk about legacy and wanting to leave a legacy, wanting your business to continue after you've gone. And so how do you set up that so that your business will be able to be carried on without you once you've gone? And lots of people have talked about the stickability of your people. Will they hang around? Change is hard. And as you leave your business, it produces a sort of makes people nervous. What's it going to be like once this changes? What's it going to be like? Are we going to be all sacked? What are our jobs going to be like? All of that sort of stuff. The clearer you can be about how your business operates with its people, the better, the stronger your business is. So this is about making good choices. And I would suggest that strengthening your management and strengthening your people and your culture will set you up to be the strongest business that you can be. One of the things Patrick Lencioni talks about, he is an amazing guru in terms of leadership and teams. And he talks about teamwork not being a virtue. He says that it is a choice and it is a strategic one. One of the other things he talks about is that organisational health is the best, the greatest opportunity for competitive advantage that you have. There are so many things nowadays that can be duplicated across businesses. You can go and you can buy systems, you can buy all of those sorts of things, but your people are what make your business what it is. How strong are your people? How strong are your leaders? So these are the questions that I've got for you today. What is the culture within your business? How skilled are your leaders? How strong are your teams? And the other thing is about how engaged are your people. Because if your people are engaged, they are much more productive. They're much more productive, they're much happier, you've got much less conflict, you get better results. So who are we? We're BSI People Skills. BSI stands for Building and Strengthening Individuals and Teams. And we are people experts. We love seeing people become empowered in their roles. Empowered teams. We work with businesses with a really range of issues, from businesses that are wanting to grow brand, wanting to grow their business, wanting to fast track their business for growth, but also businesses that are dealing with conflict. Other businesses have got management that aren't particularly skilled as managers. And I love seeing those managers grow and be able to lead their teams to be able to manage their people more effectively. One of the other things that we do as we work with the business is to look at how to make a happy, healthy team culture. What does that look like in terms of the behaviours? What does that look like in terms of the relationships and how that plays out? A lot of the businesses that I go into and I say, what do you do to build your teams? And they say, well, we do team building, we have drinks on Friday night. Yeah, how many people do drinks on Friday night? Yeah, how many people go and play golf? Sometimes, or go and do timber bowling or something like that. Yeah, what other sorts of team building activities do you do? Anybody?
Yeah, one day, the whole office about this good work in the community.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so that's good work in the community. Fantastic. Anybody else do any sort of team building activities?
Every quarter we go on like a little day retreat.
Yes.
And so, yeah, just for all my staff just to thank them for the good efforts and have a little reflection on where we've come with the business.
Right. So you can hear a little bit different here now. You've got a little bit of business focus within that day. About what's been going well, what are the things that, what are the challenges, where can we go from here? Anybody else do anything?
We do every year we do family days just for all the staff and the family and the kids.
Yes.
This year we went for the Highwell to Forest.
Right.
Family fair.
Yeah, fantastic. So being able to bring a family in and again, it's like building relationships and so on, isn't it? The team building that we do leaves people with skills that they can take back into the workplace, that helps them understand each other better in terms of communication, that helps them be able to take that communication and what they've learned about communication and work with customers so that they can build better relationships. It helps them understand what's going on and the dynamics between all of the different people in the business. And that's one of the things that a lot of my clients have said, is that we've done these team building days or sessions before, but they come back to the office and 2 or 3 weeks later it's like, so what? Whereas the team building that they've done with us, they've been able to use those skills ongoing. It's become embedded into the business. And so as part of those days where you take that opportunity to reflect, you can reflect back on the team building that we've done and then take it to the next level. It becomes embedded in the business and it becomes much more useful. So, some of the stuff that's really important, we've heard about this today, this clear vision. Where are you heading? Who are you as an organisation? Where are you going? What are your opportunities for growth? And some of the stuff that we do with businesses helps people explore that. Who are you? Where are you going? Another thing that's really important, because it leads into causes of conflict, is your core values. And there was an organisation that I was working with, and they were 2 accounting firms that had merged. And what they didn't realise was they had done all of the due diligence. They'd looked at all of the figures, they'd looked at all of this, they'd looked at all of the other stuff there, and it wasn't until about 6 months after they merged that they realised that the 2 cultures of that business were absolutely and utterly different. The core values of those 2 businesses did not gel together. And so it took them another year, including work with me, in order to be able to merge those 2 businesses together. And it was so exciting when I did a second team workshop with them last month and hearing things like, we are one team now. Such a different atmosphere in the office. And do you know what? It improved their productivity as well. One of the things with an accounting firm is that you've got deadlines with IRD. You have to meet certain criteria. And they got from an 80-something%, about 83, 84% completion by due date a year ago to 99.7 or something without a completion by the time that they needed to do it. So they were pretty happy. Those core values They drive your behaviour, they drive your ethics, they drive your decision making. Things are much easier to make decisions on if you know why you're making them, how they fit. And as you're looking for new staff as well, the number of businesses that I work with, and they're employing new staff, but those staff haven't got the same values as you have as an organisation. They might have the skills, but how do they fit? This is one of the biggest areas in business, is about communication. And one of the things I've found over my years working with people is that 99% of issues come down to poor communication or miscommunication. And, wow, that's quite amazing when I put my head down, isn't it? Here it is. Laurie from the ASB Bank, he talked about different personality styles. And this was something that I came across in 2005, was this realisation about different personality styles. And I came across a tool called DISC. It's called Everything DISC, and it comes out of the work of William Moulton Marston, who was a behavioural psychologist. And in 1926, there was a lot of work around psychology and so on, and it was all looking at people who had mental issues or problems or were dealing with difficult issues. And one of the things that he noticed in the clients that he was working with, who he called normal people, just as well, was that people responded to emotion in one of 4 different ways. And so he wrote a book called The Emotions of Normal People. And that's where it's come out of. So you heard this morning Laurie talking about the birds, the peacocks, the owls, and so on. This uses the letters D, I, S, and C. And what this does is it helps people understand why you do what you do, and why I do what I do, and therefore what causes conflict between us. It is hugely powerful. And let me tell you a story of why I saw this as being so powerful. I came across it in 2005, and at the time I was working in a play centre. Now, anybody know Play Centre here? A few people know Play Centre? One person? Only one person knows Play Centre, a couple of people. So Play Centre is a volunteer organisation. It's nationwide. It's an early childhood service provider. So it is all run by parents. Okay? So you've got these parents coming in, they're bringing their children. Needless to say, they haven't possibly had a lot of sleep the night before. And they're working with a whole lot of people who they haven't chosen to work with. You've been through no recruitment process, and you're working with these people. You're not getting paid, and there's a reasonable amount of conflict. You're also doing a job you haven't been trained for, necessarily because you're educating the children and running the centres. So I've been involved in leadership in that organisation for about 12 years. And at particular times, there's a lot of conflict. People just rub each other up the wrong way. And in 2005, I went to a workshop on DISC, and what I saw was its power to help people understand where that conflict was coming from. And those people that went to that workshop and went back to their centres, those centres started changing. And the conflict was reduced. And the results that they were getting were better. And people weren't leaving, and people weren't getting annoyed. And then I had the opportunity to be part of a team of 3. The 3 of us that were leading in this particular group of people. And the first 3 months of working together was absolutely dynamite. We hated it. We had to meet every Monday afternoon from 12:30 till 2:30. Sunday night coming, we're thinking about Monday afternoon, we're just not wanting to go. And every week, sure as coconut, somebody would get cross. And I remember vividly, after about 3 months working together, and we're sitting around the table looking at each other like this. And it was like, this is too hard. Are you leaving or am I? That same day, we looked at each other again, and we said, there's got to be a way. We're good people. And you guys have all got good people in your organisations, in your businesses. What we found was we tried several different tools, and then we tried DISC. In the next 3 years, were the most incredible 3 years. Those meetings, we loved them. We looked forward to them. We would leave with our faces sore because we were laughing so much. The other thing about it is that the quality of the work and the amount of work that we were able to produce went through the roof because we were able to use each other's strengths. So that the people, the person who was really, really good at processes, we started being able to use those skills and use that lens, if you like, over all of the work that we did. In those meetings were able to become a lot more strategic. It's like, what's coming up this coming week? And what are the skills that you're going to need for those different things? And those people were able to feed those things into that. The following week we'd debrief and go, how did that go? How did that go? How did that go? What's coming up this week? So that we were able to be proactive rather than reactive about the issues that were coming up. The quality of our documentation went up. Everybody was able to use it. It wasn't just this massive screens of paper that a lot of people's eyes just glaze over. We were able to include the bullet points. We were able to include the images that tell the story, and we were able to give the detail that some people need. So this is where the power of this tool comes in. The other thing that I love about it is that there are different profiles for your different levels of people. So there are your workplace profiles, but then there are your management profiles and your leadership profiles. And one of the things in New Zealand is that so many managers are not trained as managers. They get promoted because they've been in the job the longest, they had the most experience, or they were really good at their previous job. So now you're a manager. But are you trained as a manager? Have you got those skills, those people skills? And that's one of the things I love about working with the people that I'm working with, is that I watch these people that have been put into this role and have had no training and are really pissing their people off. All of a sudden going, is that how I can get better results with this particular person? And they come back to me and they say, this is the stuff that's happened next week, through this last week. This one on the right here is about leadership, because there's a work of leaders profile as well. And if you're thinking about the difference between a manager and a leader, you've got Richard Branson up to the end. Is he a leader or a manager? He's a leader, eh? He inspires people. And what leaders have is vision. And going back to a couple of slides ago, we talked about where is your company going, where is your business going, what is your vision? These leaders can use this vision. And they can use that to motivate their people. It's about crafting that vision and getting everybody involved in that crafting, then being able to create alignment across every area of your business so that everybody's on the same page, and being able to champion that execution so that it keeps going, so that you get that momentum and that your vision actually comes to pass. And that's what leaders do. And there are 18 different leadership skills. They're all measurable, best practices identified, and you can grow every single one of those 18 different skills. And I love seeing that too. My real passion is with teams as well. And one of the tools that I found was out of the work of Patrick Lencioni. He wrote a book called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. And what it means is that there are 5 behaviours that predict how effective and productive any team will be. And who wants an effective team? Anybody want an effective team? Yeah. And this is what I'm seeing happen. And when I look at this particular thing and I think back to that team of 3, we had 5 out of 5 on every single one of these. Because it wasn't about us, it was about the team. So let's have a look at them. The bottom layer there is about trust. How strong is the trust in your team? Between all of the people in your team. And this is a trust that's based on vulnerability. Being able to bring your strengths in so that the team can use your strengths, but not having to cover up the weaknesses that you may have or those areas of challenge. It's like owning who you are so that you can bring who you are and be who you are as part of the team and not be judged for that, but be celebrated. It's not easy, but I love doing it. Okay. It's about conflict. Now, lots of people don't like that word conflict But it's really, really important. And when I go into businesses and I say, how's the conflict in your organisation? A lot of them say, oh, there's no conflict. We're all very happy here. It's lovely. It's great. And I say, I'm not sure that we're having many great discussions. And Patrick Bencher, he talks about the conflict continuum. He talks about most businesses sitting at this end here where you've got this fake harmony that I've just described, where nobody's prepared to have those discussions, right? And he talks about the other end being sheer hell, where you've got personal attacks and things. And people are scared to start bringing the discussions this way because people think that every step you move closer to here is one step closer to hell, okay? But what I see is that when people are able to bring their different ideas, their different opinions, their different information to decisions, the decision that is made is so much better. You get a better result. Okay, so thinking about who makes the decisions in your meetings. Are they just coming from one person or two people? How are people being able to contribute their ideas into those decisions? Enabling them. And this is really important because of the next level, which is about commitment. When you're talking about commitment, if people haven't had the chance to weigh into a decision, in other words, to give their ideas about it, they cannot commit to it here. And so what happens after that meeting is that you've got the people that make a decision, which is one particular type of person, and the decision's been made, and so they just want it to happen, right? And then you've got the people that were pretty supportive of that, the I's, right? Oh, it sounded like a great idea, yeah, let's do that, great. Okay? You've got the S people, and these are all tendencies rather than putting people in a box, because people don't like being put in boxes. It's about tendencies. And these are the people who probably didn't get the chance to say very much in the meeting. They were thinking lots, and they were sort of thinking, and so it looks like they're nodding, so it looks like they're in agreement, but they haven't had the chance to say what they think. And they go away and they're still not sure, but it was the decision that was made, but they're not sure. And so how effectively are they going to be able to communicate that with their people? How much energy are they going to be putting into this decision? Because they're still pretty unsure about whether this was a good thing to do. You've got that fourth group of people who were absolutely adamant that this was the wrong decision, but they were shut down in the meeting, right? Because it was going to take too long to find out this particular piece of information, or because that's just, I want to do it this way, so we're not doing it that way. Not listening to you, this is the decision, just get on with it. And these people know that it was the wrong decision. And the number of people that I've had them tell me, so what are you doing now? I'm working on plan B. Because plan A should never have been the decision. It's never going to work. And my energy is going into sorting out what should have happened, right? And putting my energy into making that happen instead. So you've got 4 different groups of people that are working on totally different things. Instead of being able to bring everybody's opinions in, have people commit to the decision, and going away and making it happen. When you've done that, you can bring in the next one, which is about accountability, and then having everybody make each other accountable, rather than just having to go to the boss and having to say, oh, I'm waiting on that thing from Darcy, but he hasn't done it. I can go to Darcy and say, hey Darcy, you've done that thing, I really need it. It's the next thing that I need to do. Okay? The last thing is about the results, and this comes back to your vision, it comes back to your values, it comes back to what you're trying to do as an organisation. And it's about that, it's about working together, it's not about the individuals that are involved. Okay? If you get that happening, it's absolutely amazing, and you never, ever, ever want to go back. So, good luck with that one.